we looked at Jung. Today, we broaden our perspective. Compulsive behavior, dependency, an eating issue, or difficulty with self-regulation does not occur in a vacuum. It unfolds within the body, thoughts, emotions, personal history, relationships, and culture, and amidst specific social conditions. Ken Wilber's integral perspective is useful here. First look, my inner world. Ask yourself, what am I thinking? What am I feeling? What do I desire? What do I fear? What values guide my decisions? What story am I telling myself about who I am? For example, I can't control myself. But stop. Is that really true? Or is it a belief repeated so often that it came to seem like the truth? Now try a different phrasing. I am learning to regulate myself. It isn't magic, it is about shifting from a passive stance to one of learning. Beacon exercise. Write down a negative phrase you often repeat about yourself. Then ask, does this phrase describe a fact or an interpretation? Finally, what more realistic and constructive thought can I practice? It isn't about lying to yourself, it's about thinking with greater precision. Second look, my body and my behavior. Let's observe the body. How do I sleep? How do I eat? How do I move? How do I respond to stress? What habits do I have? What do I do repeatedly? You can understand your history and yet keep doing the same things. So, ask yourself, what specific behavior do I need to change? It isn't enough to say, I want to be better. You must transform that desire into action. Going to sleep at a more regular time. Walking. Cutting back on a harmful behavior. Following a therapeutic plan. Pausing before reacting. Asking for help when appropriate. Awareness needs to translate into behavior. Third look, my relationships. Now, consider something we often forget, we do not live alone. Ask yourself, who helps me grow? Who reinforces my harmful behaviors? With whom can I speak honestly? Do I feel respected? Do I respect the boundaries of others? Are there relationships that constantly trigger anxiety, guilt, or insecurity in me? A fundamental idea emerges here. Self-regulation also means learning how to relate to others. Saying no. Accepting a no. Asking for help. Setting boundaries. Respecting boundaries. Apologizing. Making amends. Listening. All of that is also a matter of health. Fourth perspective. The world I live in. What is happening around me? What values does my culture promote? Do I live surrounded by stimuli designed to capture my attention? Is constant consumption encouraged? Is overwork glorified? Is an unattainable body type presented as the ideal? Are social media platforms used to constantly compare ourselves to others? Do we have spaces to rest, reflect, and be silent? This matters. We cannot hold the individual solely responsible for things that are also produced or reinforced by their environment. Nor can we use the environment as an excuse to diminish personal responsibility. Understanding the context allows us to intervene more effectively. Comprehensive exercise. Choose a behavior you wish to transform. Then answer 4 questions. 1. Internal. What do I think and feel when it arises? 2. Body and behavior. What happens physically and what do I do? 3. Relationships. Which people or connections influence this pattern? 4. Environment. What circumstances foster or hinder it? Then write, in which of these 4 areas can I intervene first? You do not need to transform everything simultaneously. Choose a starting point. Do not reduce, do not justify. This comprehensive perspective has a very important consequence. We cannot say, it's all in my mind. Nor, it's all in my body. Nor, it's all my childhood's fault. Nor, it's all society's fault. Nor, I can't do anything because I have a dependency. Human reality is more complex. And precisely for that reason, we need a perspective that integrates these aspects. Understanding more dimensions means assuming more responsibility. It means knowing where we can intervene. Far from individual to person. Here we return to a question that runs through this entire series. Do I simply want to satisfy my impulses? Or do I want to learn to govern my life? Because a person is not merely what they feel, nor is a person merely what they think, or what they do. We are also our capacity to observe ourselves, learn, choose, make amends, and transform. And this requires responsibility, not guilt. Responsibility. Guilt can paralyze. Responsibility asks, what can I do now? Closing practice, the lighthouse map. Take a sheet of paper and draw 4 sections: inner self, body, relationships, environment. In each one, write, what is helping me? What is harming me? What can I change? What do I need to learn? Then, choose a single action. Small. Concrete. Achievable. Practice it over the coming days. Then observe. Evaluate. Adjust. Continue. That, too, is holistic development. Learning Pharaoh. We are not one-dimensional beings. To transform a behavior, we must learn to look at the whole person, inner self, body, relationships, and environment. Quote Pharaoh. Do not reduce a human being to their symptom. Look at the whole and transform where you can intervene. Get certified with EC Pharaoh. Study science with consciousness, because in health, knowledge is not neutral, it is vital.